Alright, hi everyone, I'm Nick, and my presentation is going to be on the William Hiraoka papers from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. So first, just a brief overview of the collection, and as you'll see throughout this slide, or the slideshow, I have some pictures on the side here just to serve as a visualizer for what I'll be talking about. This collection focuses on the life of William Hiraoka and his service in the U.S. Army Counterintelligence Corps during World War II. It is a major collection at the University of Hawaii at Manoa and serves as one of its many Japanese-American collections, offering insight into the service of Nisei Americans during World War II. The Hiraoka papers range from the early 1940s to the early 2000s, although the majority of the collection dates between 1942 and 1951, with intermittent dates ranging from 1940 to 2001. The collection consists of 7 series, and as the webpage states, its collection webpage states, these are organized into 7 series which contain multiple subseries. The majority of the collection consists of the records Hiraoka accumulated throughout his military career and personal correspondence during his enlistment in World War II. Other materials include a number of artifacts from his military years. Next, I'll just give a brief biographical overview of Mr. Hiraoka. He was born in Hawaii in 1917 and was a lifelong native of the state. He was drafted into the Army in November 1941 and assigned to the Counterintelligence Corps, and in this branch he performed internal security operations and served in various locations throughout the Pacific and Indonesia during the war. After the war, he remained in the Army Reserve until 1962, while simultaneously attending school at the University of Hawaii. After education, he found a career in the insurance industry and worked at places such as the Charter Property and Casualty Underwriters, Island Insurance, and the National Mortgage Finance Company. And he lived out his life in Hawaii and died in 2006. So as I mentioned earlier, this collection is divided into a bunch of series, so I'll just go over each series and talk about how they're divided. So the first one here is Clippings. This series dates between 1943 and 2009 and contains 1 box of 2 folders. This series largely consists of newspaper clippings related to Hiraoka's military service and professional career, but also includes clippings that talk about the wartime experiences of Japanese Americans as a whole, such as those who served with the famed 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Of particular note is that these original clippings have been replaced by copies on acid-free paper due to deterioration. I'm not sure if the originals have been preserved or if they were discarded. There was no mention of that, but we'll circle back to that at the end of the presentation. So Series 2 focuses on Hiraoka's military service and dates between 1943 and 2011. It contains 2 boxes which each hold anywhere from 10 to 14 folders, which makes it the largest series in the collection. This series consists of any and all material relating to his Army service and World War II in general. It includes records, memorabilia, artifacts, documents, and correspondence, but also includes orders, award citations, reports, handbooks, training documents, official histories from post-war historians, and personnel files. Series 3 focuses on Hiraoka's personal life and ranges from 1943 to 2013. It contains 4 boxes which each have several folders each. This series mostly contains material such as correspondence between Hiraoka and his family while he was overseas, with most records dating between 1942 and 1945. These items include handwritten and typed letters, radiograms, victory mail sent on microfilm, and greeting cards to and from his wife. It also includes oral histories by his daughter, presumably taken much later in life, and they have a corresponding biography. There's also newspaper clippings regarding Hiraoka's involvement in Hideki Tojo's arrest and imprisonment, obituaries, eulogies, and funeral programs for other veterans, as well as personal memorabilia. So Series 4 consists of photographs taken between 1941 and 1963. It contains 4 boxes which each have a small handful of folders each. These pictures were taken either by or of Hiraoka mainly during World War II. They include photos of places overseas where he was stationed, family and friends, his work in the Army Reserve, as well as general Army life. Most of the photos are in black and white and vary in size. They are generally in good condition, although some show signs of minimal damage due to the glue that was used at the time. Most of them are undated, however, some do have dates as well as accompanying descriptions. So Series 5 details Hiraoka's post-war professional career. It dates from 1958 to 1995 and contains 3 boxes with few folders each. It consists of material such as correspondence between colleagues, business records, certificates, and documents, many of which focus on his time with the chartered property casualty underwriters. Series 6 focuses on publications. Dating from 1941 to 1996, the series contains 1 box of 4 folders. Folders 5 and 6 focus on travel publications, while folders 7 and 8 focus on military publications. Together, these folders contain material such as brochures, books, souvenirs, and other types of publications that Hiraoka collected during the war. The travel folders contain material he collected mostly while in Australia, such as handbooks, pamphlets, postcards, and picture books, while the military folders contain booklets and other written material on World War II history, such as battles, campaigns, locations, and fellow soldiers. These materials are generally in good condition. So Series 7 is the last series in the collection and focuses on artifacts. Its date range is broad, spreading from the 1940s to the early 2000s, and it contains 15 boxes. This series largely contains artifacts Hiraoka accumulated throughout his life, during and after the war, although there is a heavy focus on the war itself. Material in this series includes miscellaneous items of military and personal nature, memorabilia, tchotchkes, awards, and other personal items. Most items are in good condition, although the collection's webpage does state that some might have handling restrictions due to fragility. So the Hiraoka Papers is one of the many collections in the University of Hawaii at Manoa's archives, and as I said earlier, one of many in its Japanese-American sub-collections. However, like the others, it is an important piece of those collections. At the service level, it offers a glimpse into the university's connection to World War II, but on a deeper level, it highlights the exploits of one of its alumni, as well as of Japanese Americans during World War II and the various roles in which they've served, at a time when anti-Japanese sentiment and prejudice was quite high. So these are my questions. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the collection did mention that the original newspaper prints that it has were replaced with copies on acid-free paper. So my first question is, do you think this was the right thing to do? Is it acceptable? Should the originals have been kept in the collection rather than replace them? Should there have been greater efforts made to restore or prolong the lives of those original materials? And the second question I have is, how can archivists balance the preservation of physically fragile materials, as I mentioned, such as the paper documents and photographs that make up a big chunk of this collection, while still promoting accessibility for researchers and patrons alike? And that's my source. Thank you, guys.